In today's video, Chase fans, we're going to see a high-powered Mercedes get stopped by a Good Samaritan in a much bigger vehicle. Let's go to it. Yeah, welcome in everybody. This video comes to us from where else but southern Los Angeles, California, and possibly a stolen Mercedes vehicle. And look how this one ends. And as always, for the sake of time, I'm going to fast forward through some of this video. Let's jump into it.
A good gauge of what's going on in the back seat.
Well, Gabe, as you look at this, we saw people merging onto the freeway at the same rate of speed as this suspect. So while this person is going across the freeway from
He's flying some flag out of the sunroof. Is that a Jamaican flag? Somebody in the comment section let me know. I'm not 100% sure.
one side to the other, if you're just merging on, you don't even know what is happening here because
bit of the shoulder there, and LAPD not taking any chances, staying right behind this suspect. And there's an open gap of no traffic here. You can see that box truck getting out of the way. They hear the lights, they see the sirens, and they're hopefully, going to do their best to try and stay out of the way. And we hope.
Is one of those things that I've always found very troubling in these chases, because it's just something that the person who's in their commute doing their best just to get home is not waiting on. You're not expecting that, and you certainly don't see 7 police cars coming on the heels of this. So the sunroof and began to
difficult here as we and we're just going to have to kind of work with the air traffic and work with the angles here the best we can, and just kind of move forward with that in mind, that this driver may also have an animal along with being possibly armed, possibly armed robbery suspect.
Yeah, you know what actually makes me...
That's the biggest thing that goes wrong here, is if they are armed and they end up getting caught in the chase, that they come out shooting.
You think of, hopefully it's their animal and it's not injured or anything, but I always think about how many people are now stealing in a kind of a violent way people's animals, specifically.
Gabe, that
interest in whatever crime these suspects
Did you just say it?
Yeah, so we're kind of going in the high 50s here, low 60s. It should be pointed out that this driver is actually in the carpool lane, the elevated carpool lane, as it goes northbound on the 110. And there's not a lot of traffic there. That's an area, that's an overpass where you could really go, 75 and be totally fine. There's no traffic in front.
Yeah, he's in like the fast pass express lane here, where it's just clear.
This guy right now.
Doesn't it also run out? I mean, eventually it stops, and if you're either fed back onto the freeway or you're going to end up on surface streets.
Right.
Exactly.
So you're seeing it.
Surface streets. The slower pace then, and you can see there maybe this driver saw this CHP unit possibly setting up for spike strips. We don't know that at this time, but where that vehicle
moving
onto the shoulder to give the right of way to officers. They can hear them, they can see them, but then that blocks this person.
And so now he's the car right there.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that looks to be a weapon. That was a gun thrown out of the car. You could see LAPD officers stopping by to pick up that evidence. And
yeah, he 100% just threw a gun out. If we go back just a little bit here, we can see right there, bam, he throws that gun out. We can circle it right above that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may have committed.
Well, you kind of are glad that he threw. You have to assume there's more than one weapon in there, of course.
Yeah.
The vehicle, it's just hard to say what's going through
on the.
And you don't know, by the way, when we're talking
violent person, although it's definitely a good sign that at least one weapon for attention and for enjoying the last thing that with it.
For all of us
some
who have to navigate
some of these chases are just for attention, for sure.
These freeways on the daily.
Basically, this is
at least the ramp that allows you to go onto the southbound 405.
Santos.
And now we're the 405 north of the 405 left-hand shoulder, and we've seen this behavior before. This driver's going to use the we continue. Channel 7 and see continuing.
So I'm not 100% sure on the model of that Mercedes, maybe an E-Class or a C-Class. Maybe somebody that owns one can comment below and let me know, but it's more of a luxury car than more of their high-powered sports cars. I can't tell if it's an AMG, which is more power, but it doesn't look like one of their high power vehicles, but all Mercedes can go.
Doing coverage of this, but
is the most agitated this driver has taken on. We know that the sunroof had been open most of the time. The sunroof was just recently closed. We know that the flag, he definitely wants to make sure he's displaying the colors of that flag. We know that. We know that when
using the left shoulder and using the right shoulder, but
officer right behavioral police
is taking the
on the freeway the whole time. Why is an exit yet?
That's what that statement is, except the suspect. And as we go onto the streets.
So he exits here, he's headed out onto the main roads, and this is where it gets more dangerous and harder to control because there's just traffic, and these people don't see this coming. You don't know you're sitting at a red light, somebody's going to come up on you really fast with the police chasing them and just crash into you.
The pit maneuver comes into
Look
play.
at this. He just threw something to someone right there. He gave somebody something.
Yeah.
And now I don't think the police know that yet, because that one gentleman with the white shirt that was at the corner took something from that suspect. The suspect threw something to him. So Gabe, you're right there.
Involved in that. And we're sidewalk if he gets stuck. That could definitely lead to a very dangerous situation. It looks like LAPD taking no chances. They're getting around this traffic as well. And those 77th Division officers.
See, this is where it gets tough when traffic is just bumper to bumper. There's nowhere to go, but it just depends on the desperation of the suspect, who is apparently not only a stolen vehicle or a grand theft, but also a robbery suspect.
Following this pursuit from the very beginning are staying very close to this vehicle. Now that first patrol car right behind the vehicle, they have the doors open, and it looks like we may have had some contact.
Looks like he hit that little silver Honda right there.
The suspect vehicle and that silver Nissan over there on the right side. And it looks like this driver almost in a panic now, and a truck may be getting involved, possibly blocking him in. This truck, it's hard to tell if this truck is trying to get involved or if this is just accidental.
It's absolutely intentionally trying to get.
Look at that truck, Toyota. What is that? A Toyota Tundra? It looks like. Bam! Right up against the bumper of that Mercedes. He's not going anywhere.
Suspect driver is almost pinned in there. You can see LAPD seeing the situation, and the suspect has hands out of the window. This is definitely a good sign. Who knows if this truck is possibly law enforcement or just a concerned citizen. LAPD has guns drawn, and the suspect has their hands out of the window, and hopefully, after we saw this pursuit go through a very dangerous phase on surface streets from Crenshaw Boulevard north of the 10, hopefully we're seeing this thing come to an end here now.
Yeah, I'm wondering about the truck. You're kind of thinking, I hope that truck stays there, but I'm also kind of concerned for that person inside the cab, because if
they're asking him to leave.
Just get out of the car.
To exit the vehicle.
They're telling him to get out. They're telling him to get out. And these LAPD officers have to also be concerned of the driver.
Yeah, he's not law enforcement. He's just a citizen.
We're going southbound on Crenshaw. They're yelling at them to get out of the way too, to leave their cars parked and get out of the way, because there's the issue of crossfire. If officers have to use their weapons for any reason, they want to make sure that there's nobody in harm's way. And you can see that suspect not using the door for some reason and climbing out of the window, hands on the pavement.
Maybe they
and he's
told
going
him
to
to do
continue.
Why did he not use the door? That's weird.
Yes.
Trying to climb out of the window. That would be a very unusual way for officers to tell a suspect to get out of the vehicle, but
you
never know.
Maybe they actually don't know how to get out of the cars.
And bring him into
We did see it is
feel for the suspect.
homes on both. It's going to be. I thought
Hands are down.
Well,
he's
all of it.
rolling out.
coming through. He's making.
He's
progress
rolling
there.
out.
That was very
There he
He
is.
graceful.
rolls over, and it does appear,
sorry to
judging
laugh.
by this kind of behavior. No, I
Yes.
mean it's
The
highly
dismount.
unusual. It does appear that this suspect may be under the influence of something, because this is just not normal behavior.
Well,
he's
all of it.
rolling out of the vehicle, crawling on the floor, and LAPD just has to deal with it. And they're
Them to side of the freeway.
some PD continue, but
They're going to move up and arrest him now.
to make sure that they can do that safely.
Yeah, and when to get home. What is
Officers
that?
come, they're going to clear the vehicle. They're moving in from their vehicles towards the suspect, and they're going to grab one arm, they're going to grab the other.
What about it? Well, again, we're happy to see this come to an end, especially by the way the suspect certainly.
And that's where it ends. A citizen in his truck decides he's had enough of that Mercedes, pulls up to the bumper, and you guys saw the result. So as always, thanks for watching the channel. We appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel before you leave. It would mean a lot to us. We appreciate it. And until the next video, have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you next time.